This isn't personal, Alexandra, board chairman Richard Thompson said, not meeting my eyes. The allegations about your mental health and emotional outbursts are concerning. The board feels Carol would provide more stable leadership. I sat perfectly still in the mahogany-lined conference room, studying the faces around the table. 8 board members, all avoiding my gaze except my sister Carol, who wore an expression of carefully crafted concern. Of course, she said softly, reaching for my hand. I hate that it's come to this, but you need time to focus on your health, Alex. I pulled my hand away, feeling the weight of my phone in my jacket pocket. My health, I repeated. How thoughtful of you to be so concerned. My name is Alexandra Chen, and at 35, I was being ousted as CEO of Chen Technologies, the company my father built and had helped grow into a billion-dollar enterprise. My younger sister Carol had spent months orchestrating my downfall, spreading rumors about my mental state, fabricating stories about angry outbursts, and convincing the board I was unfit to lead. What she didn't know was that I'd seen it coming. We'll need you to clear out your office today, Thompson continued, sliding a manila envelope across the table. The severance package is generous. Your shares will be purchased at market value. I picked up the envelope without opening it. And if I refuse? Carol's perfectly composed expression flickered. Alex, please don't make this difficult. The board has made their decision. Based on your testimony, I noted, watching her closely, your concerns about my stability, and the incidents reported by multiple employees, Thompson added quickly. The outburst in the development meeting, the aggressive emails, the erratic behavior. Interesting, I said, finally reaching for my phone. Would you like to know what really happened in that development meeting? Carol's hand twitched toward her water glass. We don't need to rehash. Actually, we do. I placed my phone on a table and pressed play. Carol's voice filled the room. Listen, Mark, I need you to back me up on this. Just tell the board that Alex lost it during the meeting. Screamed, threw things. Make it convincing. Don't worry about proof. Once enough people tell the same story, it becomes the truth. The recording continued, revealing Carol methodically planning my destruction, coaching employees to lie, fabricating evidence, manipulating board members. The color drained from her face as her own words exposed her scheme. Thompson's mouth hung open slightly, while other board members shifted uncomfortably in their chairs. There's more, I said calmly, stopping the playback. Emails, text messages, video footage from my office security camera showing Carol planting evidence in my desk. Would you like to see those too? This is taken out of context, Carol stammered, her composure cracking. I was trying to protect the company. By destroying your sister, my father's voice cut through the room. Everyone turned to see him standing in the doorway, leaning on his cane. Dad, Carol began, rising from her chair. You're supposed to be resting. I've been resting for 2 years, he said, moving slowly into the room. Watching, listening, seeing what you've become. 6 months ago, our father had suffered a stroke. He'd stepped down as chairman, handing control to Thompson while maintaining his majority shareholding. Everyone had assumed he was too weak, too disconnected to notice what was happening in his company. Everyone was wrong. Richard, my father addressed Thompson directly, you've known me for 20 years. Did you really believe my daughter, my chosen successor, was mentally unstable? Or did you just find it convenient to believe Carol's lies? Thompson's face reddened. John, the board had concerns. The board had ambition, my father corrected, and Carol played to it perfectly. But did any of you bother to verify her claims? To question why Alexandra's supposed instability only surfaced after she blocked Carol's attempted hostile takeover of our Asian division? A heavy silence fell over the room. 3 months ago, I discovered Carol's secret plan to spin off our Asian operations into a separate company, one she would control. I'd shut it down immediately, protecting thousands of jobs and our family's legacy. That's when the rumors about my mental health had started. You don't understand, Carol said, her voice rising. She's going to destroy everything you built, Dad. Her ideas about sustainable technology, ethical AI, they'll cut our profits in half. They'll secure our future, I countered. Which you'd know if you'd bothered to read the market research instead of plotting against me. Enough, my father said quietly but firmly. He turned to address the board. As majority shareholder, I am calling for an emergency vote of no confidence in this board. Alexandra has provided evidence of conspiracy and attempted fraud. Would you prefer to resign now, or should we make this public? One by one, the board members looked at each other. Thompson was the first to stand. I'll have my resignation letter on your desk within the hour, he said stiffly. Others quickly followed suit, leaving only Carol still seated, her perfectly curated world crumbling around her. How long? She asked, finally looking at me. How long have you been recording everything? Since the day you tried to access my private medical records, I replied. Do you really think I wouldn't notice? 2 months ago, I discovered Carol had attempted to bribe my therapist's office manager for access to my sessions. She'd been looking for anything she could use to support her claims about my mental health. Instead, she tipped her hand. You were always the careful one, she said bitterly, always planning 10 steps ahead. Dad's perfect daughter. No, our father corrected. She was the responsible one. The one who understood that leadership isn't about power, it's about protection. Protecting our employees, our legacy, our family. Family? Carol laughed sharply. Is that what we are? When was the last time either of you saw me as anything but a threat? When was the last time you gave us a reason not to? I asked quietly. The question hung in the air between us, heavy with years of competition, jealousy, and broken trust. My phone buzzed. A text from Grace, my head of security. Police are here. Should I send them up? I looked at my sister, seeing not the polished executive she pretended to be, but the little girl who used to follow me around, wanting to be just like her big sister. The police are here, I told her softly. The evidence of fraud and conspiracy is substantial. You're facing serious charges. You do that, she whispered. You'd send your own sister to prison. You tried to destroy me, Carol. You manipulated people into lying, falsified documents, attempted to access private medical records. What did you think would happen? Our father moved to stand between us. There might be another way, he said carefully, if Carol agrees to certain conditions. I studied my father's face, seeing the weight of his decision in his eyes. Despite everything Carol had done, he was still trying to find a way to save her. What conditions? Carol asked, her voice small. Complete resignation from Chen Technologies, he began. Surrender of all shares. A signed confession of your actions, to be held in trust. And most importantly, mandatory therapy. Real therapy, not the kind you fabricated about your sister. Carol's perfectly manicured hands clenched in her lap. You want me to give up everything? No, I corrected. We're offering you a chance to keep your freedom. The evidence I have. Carol, you'd be looking at serious prison time. A knock at the conference room door interrupted us. Grace, my head of security, stepped in. Ms. Chen, the police are waiting in the lobby. Should I tell them to proceed? I held Carol's gaze, watching the reality of her situation sink in. All her careful planning, her manipulations, her schemes, they had led her here, to this moment of truth. Give us a minute, Grace, I said, not breaking eye contact with my sister. After Grace left, Carol seemed to deflate, her polished exterior cracking completely. Why did you do it? I asked, the question that had been burning inside me for months. Really, Carol? What made you hate me so much? Hate you. She laughed bitterly. I don't hate you, Alex. I wanted to be you. Dad's golden child, the brilliant successor, the one who could do no wrong. Do you have any idea what it's like living in your shadow? So you tried to destroy me? That was your solution? I tried to prove I could be better, she snapped. That I could be stronger, more decisive. When I found out about your therapy sessions, I thought, finally, a weakness. Finally, a way to show everyone that perfect Alexandra wasn't so perfect after all. Our father sank heavily into a chair. Where did we go wrong? He muttered. How did it come to this? I thought about all the signs I'd missed over the years. Carol's increasing resentment, her desperate attempts to prove herself, the way she'd gradually isolated herself from the family. The confession. I said finally, everything. Every lie you told, every person you manipulated. I want it all in writing. Carol nodded slowly. And then what? Then you get help. Real help. Not for us, but for yourself. Over the next few hours, Carol wrote everything down. A 20-page document detailing her elaborate scheme to discredit me. The employees she bribed or coerced. The evidence she fabricated. The board members she manipulated. When she finished, her hands were shaking. What about the police? I'll handle it, our father said. But Carol, this is your last chance. If you break these conditions, if you try anything like this again, I understand, she whispered. After she left with our father, I sat alone in the conference room, looking at the city skyline through the wall of windows. The recording that had saved my career was still on my phone, along with dozens of others. Conversations, meetings, proof of every lie and manipulation. Grace came in with coffee. The board members are all gone. Their resignation letters are on your desk. Thank you. I took the coffee gratefully. Any word from the development team about the Sustainable Tech Initiative? They're waiting for your go-ahead. Now that Carol's interference is dealt with, we can move forward. I nodded, already thinking about next steps. The company needed stability now, needed to know that the leadership drama was over. My phone buzzed with a text from my father. Carol's checked into the treatment center. 3 months minimum. Are you sure about this? I typed back, yes, everyone deserves a chance to change. The next few weeks were intense. I appointed a new board, people chosen for their expertise rather than their political connections. The Sustainable Technology Initiative launched successfully, drawing praise from industry experts and environmental groups alike. Carol's confession had been sealed and placed in trust with our family attorney, a safeguard against any future attempts at corporate warfare. The employees she'd manipulated were offered a choice: come clean and keep their jobs, or resign quietly. Most chose honesty. 1 month after everything happened, I received an unexpected letter from Carol's treatment center. Dear Alexandra, it began. I've been doing a lot of thinking here. A lot of therapy. They're making me look at why I did what I did, why I became someone who could hurt her own sister so deliberately. The letter continued for pages, filled with the kind of raw honesty I hadn't seen from Carol in years. I don't expect forgiveness, she wrote near the end. I probably don't deserve it, but I want you to know that I see it now. What real strength looks like. It's not about destroying others to lift yourself up. It's about having the power to destroy someone and choosing not to. I folded the letter carefully and locked it in my desk drawer. Time would tell if Carol's insights were genuine or just another manipulation. 6 months later, Chen Technologies had its most successful quarter ever. Our sustainable technology division was revolutionizing the industry, proving that ethical business practices and profitability could coexist. Carol completed her treatment program and, true to her word, stayed away from the company. She started a small consulting firm, helping other businesses implement sustainable practices. She's different, our father said during one of our weekly dinners. Really different. The therapy, it helped. I hope so, I replied. But trust takes time. He reached across the table to squeeze my hand. You did the right thing, you know, finding a way to hold her accountable without destroying her completely. That's real leadership. I thought about the recording still on my phone, the evidence I'd gathered, the power I'd held over Carol's future. I could have ruined her completely, the way she tried to ruin me. Instead, I'd chosen a different path. That night, as I sat in my office reviewing quarterly reports, my phone buzzed with a text from Carol. The sustainability conference is next month. I'm speaking about ethical business transitions. Would you consider attending? I stared at the message for a long time, thinking about trust and forgiveness, about family and redemption. Send me the details, I typed back finally. Maybe some bridges couldn't be rebuilt. Maybe some trust, once broken, could never be fully restored. But maybe, just maybe, we could build something new, something stronger, because we understood exactly how fragile relationships could be. The sun was setting over the city, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. From my office window, I could see the Chen Technologies logo glowing against the darkening sky. A reminder of everything we built, everything we protected, everything we'd learned. Leadership, I discovered, wasn't just about making the right decisions. Sometimes it was about finding the wisdom to be merciful, even when mercy wasn't deserved. I picked up my phone one last time and deleted the recordings. We couldn't move forward if we kept holding onto the weapons of the past. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new decisions, new opportunities to either build or destroy. But for now, in this moment, I knew I'd chosen the right path. Not the easiest one, not the most satisfying one, but the right one. And in the end, that's what leadership was really about.